Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Glake, finally back with a new Core Reacts video. I know it has been a minute. The reason why is because I've actually been doing sort of, I don't want to say full-on fledged Core Reacts like I usually do when I do my recorded ones, but I have been reacting to some new and more recently released tracks on my G-Sync podcast, which you can actually check out here on YouTube as well as Spotify and other places you can find your podcasts. At least in the video format, I do. I've been doing a metalcore segment on those podcasts where I kind of go over the latest metalcore album releases for the week, as well as checking out a new track, a new music video, all that kind of stuff, and even talking about some bands sometimes, going a little bit more in depth into some recent material. So yeah, I haven't really been doing dedicated Core Reacts videos, but I would like to get back to doing those as well, and I'll probably post little snippets from the podcast to this channel from now on from the metalcore segments, so you guys can kind of see some of the latest stuff that I've been semi-reacting to, I guess you can say, during the pod. But anyway, this is a special one today, something we've been waiting for a fat minute, and that is new Ghost Atlas material. It has been a couple years since Jesse released new material for Ghost Atlas. I believe the last, I guess you can say, sort of complete package of material was Sleep Therapy, which was more of an acoustic remix album, if anything, from his debut LP. So it wasn't really a full-fledged record. I consider it to be an EP, even though there's like 10 tracks on the album. I think there's like, are there like maybe 4 or 5 original tracks, I think, and it was, in all honesty, it's just a much more soft-spoken, more acoustic style record. It's not really the more rock like we knew from the first Ghost Atlas LP, and I'm gonna be checking this out today to see how exactly the sound direction is going. I've heard good things. I've heard that this is actually, you know, more rock than acoustic, but I also heard that there are some country vibes especially with the guitar in this track, so I'm really excited to check this out. 2024 is already shaping up to be a really good release year in terms of, you know, rock and metalcore music. I'm already really excited. 2023 has felt like another year that's kind of hard to top. We've had some huge releases recently. I mean, we've had Silent Planet more recently, Spiritbox, Dying Wish, Victims. It's just been a crazy autumn and leading into winter now, and now we're finally getting some 2024 album announcements, and along with this single, Jesse has announced that, yeah, we're getting a brand new full-length Ghost Atlas album next year. It's in the description here. It's entitled Dust of the Human Shape, and it's coming out in January, so thank God, something brand new that I can look forward to that's happening right as we kick off 2024. Really excited. And I think 2024 is going to be when Era, which is, you know, the other band that Jesse is a part of, I think 2024 is where we're going to get the next full length from Era as well. It sounds like they're going to release in 2024, but to be very honest, that is what I think they were originally supposed to do. So when they released, I think Neon, or not Neon, I think Self-Titled was supposed to come out in 2020. But then, you know, obviously there was the pandemic and that got pushed into 2021. But, you know, I am, even though that was probably most likely due to the pandemic, I am still skeptical that they will hold, their word when it comes to a 2024 release for their next LP. But, apparently it's, you know, I don't think it's done being recorded yet. I'm not quite sure, but I know they're pretty close to being finished. They've been in the studio, so I know it's coming. That's all I know, is it's on the way. And they did release that first single, which in my opinion definitely was not a B-side, that's for sure. I mean, Self-Titled has been out a bit too long at this point for it to be. I mean, we've had Self-Titled Deluxe, so yeah, that is definitely not a B-side. I don't think it's going to be a standalone single. I think that's our first taste of the upcoming album. So new Ghost Atlas and Era in 2024, dude. It's it's already over. It's already going to be a crazy spicy year. But anyway, we're going to jump into this new single from Ghost Atlas today, Lesser Gods. Been waiting years for new Ghost Atlas material. Really excited to see how Jesse's lyrical game has stepped up, because Ghost Atlas has some crazy lyrics. Aaron's got some crazy lyrics. This dude is a master lyricist, in my opinion. So really interested to see what he's talking about, what he's speaking about in this one. Not going to wait anymore. Let's hop right into it. This is Lesser Gods. Let's go.
Stimulated, unorchestrated energy. Hands molding sculptures, a makeshift divinity. Driving fast towards the setting sun, the night is survived by shadows of ghosts and lesser gods. Progenitors to a future generation of wounds. See it all in black and blue, falling for convenient truths. Bearing my soul in a half-soul testimony.
I love this.
Losing my footing in a fraudulent destiny. Spiritual inertia grounds me to the grave. Darlings to kill, darkness to save. Effective pride of cause, deafened by disembodied applause. See it all in black and blue, falling for convenient truths. Soaking that fire, blind wind to sound, living at the cost of love, 'cause I can get higher from the chase of fear and dying.
He always does that in his Ghost Atlas tracks. I've picked that up. I've noticed that he does that a lot. So dreamy. It's got a groove to it, but at the same time, it's just so dreamy. Yes, I love this outro. Nothing like just a nice raw guitar, dude. Like I'm digging it. All right. Well, there we go. That's Lesser Gods by Ghost Atlas. Listen, this is more the type of track that I've been looking forward to from him. This is more what I've been waiting for sure. I definitely think that this track in particular is a lot more on the softer side. Like if this was a part of All Is in Sync, I definitely would probably, I don't want to say I would put it on the bottom, but I would put it more in the grouping of the softer tracks. I would put it in the group of the more softer tracks on the album, which are sort of my lesser favorite tracks. Like I just really enjoy like a nice core rock band. rock sound, I should say. And like Ghost Atlas was really kind of my reintroduction into just normal core rock for sure. And I always bring this story up whenever I'm talking with Era fans or anybody who knows of Era, because Era is essentially my favorite band now, and they've been essentially my favorite band since I started listening to them in 2018, I think it was. Yeah, 2018. But before I came across Era, I came across Ghost Atlas first. So I was a Ghost Atlas fan before I was an Era fan. I knew of Ghost Atlas before I knew of Era. And yeah, this is the band that I fell for first, and it, mostly because of just its pure rock sound, which is something that I never really dove a whole lot of into outside of more, I guess you could say, Christian bands of like the early to mid 2000s. Those are sort of like a lot of those bands are sort of the bands that I was into. Like I don't like Falling Up is a perfect example. Like I love Falling Up to death. Like I always say Falling Up is my favorite band of all time, but since they don't really exist anymore, like in the same way, I don't really put them up there. But bands like Falling Up, bands like Disciple, I guess you could say, bands like, I don't know, I guess Red is a little bit more metal, a little bit more metalcore, but there's some other bands out there that were at one point Christian that probably wouldn't really classify as being Christian now. So yeah, hearing Ghost Atlas, back in 2017, yeah, I think it was 2017. No, it was very early 2018 when I first listened to Ghost Atlas. So listening to Ghost Atlas back then, after just being out of the whole rock genre in general for, several years, it was like super refreshing to just come back to something that was very lyrically rich and wasn't Falling Up. It was a whole different experience. And like once I heard Era for the first time, I remember listening to Monolith. That was the track that I listened. That was the first Era track I ever heard, was Monolith, and I remember being like, holy crap. First I was like, holy smokes, this track is godlike. Then I was like, wait a second, this dude, I was like, I know this guy. Like when I heard Jesse singing the track, I was like, I know this guy's voice. This is 100% the same guy from this other band. I was like, what's the name of this band? What's the name of this band? Ghost Atlas. I looked it up, and yes, it was the same people, and I was like, oh. After that completely sealed the deal for me. After that, I was forever an Era fan. Like that was like combining my favorite things of like the best of two worlds for me. Like I was getting amazing vocals from this just rock band that I just discovered and fell in love with, and then I was getting the most ambient and like drifty and melodic sounds and also screams from JT side with Era, and just what Era encompasses as a whole, and just it all being combined into one was just like it was just like the perfect gift being wrapped up. So yeah, I mean, I always tell that story whenever I talk about Ghost Atlas or Era for the first time with people, and I think this is the first Ghost Atlas track I've reacted to on this channel, right? So I had to tell the story. But yeah, anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. This is a very lyrically rich track, if anything. This guy's extremely talented. Like I said, he's one of these dudes who actually reads books. So you already know that his material is going to be lyrically rich. That is also one of the reasons why I love Era and Ghost Atlas to death, is because I love lyrically rich music. I love lyrics with substance. I love cryptic stuff that you have to dive into, that you might have to listen to several times over and over again to get a good picture in your head what they could be talking about, what they could be referencing. That is just the kind of music that I love. So yeah, this has all of it, and I'm already thirsting for more. I cannot wait till January. Hopefully we get a new single pretty soon here before the end of the month. I will be reacting to that as well, and yeah, just really looking forward to January. I never thought I would ever say that. January is usually a pretty sleeper month for me, but I mean, listen, if we're getting pretty, first of all, we're getting good games are dropping in January, February next year, and we're getting good music. Listen, bring on 2024. That's all I gotta say. Come on. Come on, bring on 2024. I'm ready. But anyway, that's going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like as usual. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of the track. Would love to hear your thoughts. Most importantly, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you hit the sub button, hit the bell, so you can stay up to date on all the latest core reacts dropping here on the channel. Like I said, I'm going to try and get back to doing these dedicated recording core reacts. Don't want to force you guys to listen to a whole entire podcast just so you can see me react to a track. So yeah, stay tuned for more of these. They will be on the way for sure. I didn't quit doing these, but yeah, this is the first one in a while, and I don't want you guys to miss out on any future ones that I'll be doing. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your energy as usual, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.